Hey folks, welcome back to the video. We are going to be starting just a couple of simple honey mead bases. First, we're going to start with about 3 pounds of honey inside each jar, and then we're going to fill those most of the way up with water and mix those up real good. Next, we will add a bag of brewed tea. It doesn't really matter how much water there is, as long as it's about a tea bag's worth that goes into each one of the jars. The tea will help, make it heavier and taste a lot better. Alrighty, and then with that, what I have here is some yeast nutrient. It's technically, basically, dead yeast that'll help the live yeast kind of activate and start doing their process. You always want to test the yeast in a small bowl of water just to make sure that it's foaming alive and ready to go. And then we'll add the lemon into the brew. It will help raise the acidity, lower the pH, to keep out those unwanted bacteria that could spoil your brew. However, if you raise that acidity too much, it could kill the yeast. However, I used Red Star, and I have not had this issue. And now at this point, we're just going to fill that all the rest of the way up with water, and then you're just going to stir. And stir. And stir until both of your forearms are on fire. Because we have to introduce a lot of oxygen into this before we put the yeast in, so that the yeast have something to breathe through and start their work. Right, and now, before we add the yeast, you're going to want to take the OG reading. That's what I have here is a barometer. It measures the density in the liquid and will tell you just about how many fermentable sugars are inside of the brew. Now, mine started a little bit low at 1.090. Both of them are just about that. Normally, it's a little bit higher because I do blueberries or strawberries, even peaches one time, and that gives it more sugars. However, this one, we're just starting off with a little bit of honey, water, so I'm not expecting it to turn out that strong. And now at this point that everything else is ready, now it's time to finally add the yeast. Once it goes in there, just want to give it a quick stir, and then we'll cap it. And we'll just leave it there to sit for a couple of months, not really touching it, so that it does its thing, ferments, and yeah. And then we'll look back after it a couple weeks and see how it's doing. Thank you so much, folks.